Hi guys, how's it going? So in this one I've got as a Ki-61-2 KAI from RSmodels in 1/48 scale. I have no experience with this brand, but I'm hoping for two things. The fitting is good and the model is highly detailed. Fingers crossed, that's what I get. On the side, it does give me Dora Wings vibes because of the orange and the artwork. I mean, that does give you Dora Wings vibes, doesn't it? Look at the artwork and the orange. The history of the aircraft. So if you like that sort of thing, give it a pause and have a read. See if I get that focus. There we go. Here we have the artwork from the front again. Here it says free decal version for Japan. I feel like it should say free decal versions for Japan, but I'm just being picky. Again, another kit you can purchase. Czech Republic. And the same again. Now, this current kit is new as in with new decals 2024, but the tooling is from 2014. So hopefully they've kept the tooling fairly clean. Let's give it an open. It does feel fairly light, and you'll see why. I don't know why they put this huge box for what's inside. I mean, they could have shrunk the box by about 30%. It does have a loose sprue, which is fantastic. I say sarcastically. The decals look nice though from what I can see, but the clears look fantastic. But we'll have a closer look in a minute. Sprue frame 1 out of 2. You can see the loose bit that was in the baggie I put here where it's supposed to be before it kindly snapped itself off. If you look at the underside of the wings, the edges, you can see jagged bits of flash. That's about a minute to clean up. The panel lines are not the deepest, so if you paint by brush, be careful because you could lose detail, but if you airbrush, this shouldn't be an issue at all. And then we look at the top part of the wings. There doesn't seem to be much here except a little bit in the corner you'll need to clean up. Bit at the front there. And the other side, this looks to be the cleanest one. That one's not bad at all. Here we go, we've got part of the control column here, not much to look at. The tail wheel here. Now that detail isn't that bad, and it doesn't look like we need to do any cleaning up except from the seam line, which is normal for 99.9% of the kits. Here's the landing gear. Doesn't look too bad. Oh look, we've got some levers here. This is nice, this bit, I like that. See that? That's quite cool. The exhaust. It seems to be one of those kits that it is, the model's only going to be as good as, depending on what effort you put into it, if that makes sense. We'll turn it over for the connecting points because people like to see that. There doesn't seem to be anything to line it up with. So your best bet is to put some glue here and just make sure you line each side up. And that is sprue frame 1 out of 2. Let's move over to the second one. This is my favourite because it has a fuselage. I think this is most people's favourite. Now how cool is this? You can see, we'll start off here. It doesn't seem to, it does look a bit grimy, doesn't it? Like here. Not the cleanest of tooling, but that's fine. Again, not going to get much when it comes to panel lines. The other side. You can see it's grubby. And that's not fingerprint, that is just, it's got a rough texture to it. Yeah, it's rough. So you might want to have to smooth that out. And then we have the cockpit detail, which is actually quite nice. It doesn't seem to be a blurred mess. They've kept that bit clean at least. Same with the other side. And then we have the instrument panel, which is actually quite detailed. I quite like that. I look at that a lot. Here's part of the seat, where is it? I've lost it. There we go. We've got a bit of flash on the edge, again, to clean up. But this kind of reminds me in a weird way when it comes to the flash on the little bits everywhere. Reminds me of a Airfix kit from 2010. Not too bad. Propeller. There's a little bit of, just a little bit. You see what I mean? There's a little bit of flash on everything. You've got to clean up 99% of this kit before you glue it together. This looks like the floor, cockpit floor. And that is your lot when it comes to the sprues. Make sure. There's a bit here actually. Before we go though. This bit here. There's no real numbers in either. They're not really numbered at all. With the clears, they're packed in the resin wheels. When you go to cut these off and sand them and smooth them off, wear a mask, just like you do plastic, but especially a resin, because you don't really want to breathe that in. Let's hope that a closer look at the clear parts, we don't find any scratch marks. I'll give you a little look just for the, there you go. No, you just have to cut it around there. I don't know why they've done it like this, but fair enough. Put that back in the bag. Go on, in you get. Now, micro set. Let's have a look, shall we? Look at the set. Obviously, this can be distorted because of the bubble shape and the warping. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, that is pretty good, to be fair. Can't see no scratch marks. These are actually pretty good. Okay, so the clears are a definite 8 out of 10. They're perfect. No loose bits. On the front of the instructions, we have the sprues numbered, yet when we looked at our sprues, there was no numbered sprues to be seen. We have the history of the aircraft come back up. We've already seen that at the beginning on the side of the box. We've got 7 colours that are required. It doesn't seem to be any particular brand being advertised, but those are the colours. Symbols we need to remember are right here. Bring it up closer. And then construction begins. We've got step 1 and 2 with the fuselage and these panels going into place. And this is a leaflet style instructions. Step 3, 4 and 5, and it looks like a really nice build up coming. I do like this when number 19, the instrument panel slots in. Instrument floor and the seat. 8 and 9, and the build up is there. With the exhausts, I think by the looks of the sprues, let me get them. There doesn't seem to be any groove at the back, so you could probably put the fuselage together and put them in at a later date, but then the risk is they might pop through and you could lose them in, well, the fuselage. Moving over to step 11, we now put the fuselage together, and I love this look. Step 12 and 13, the tail wheel goes into place, and I just love this image right there. Step 14, we've got the propeller and the spinner with a canopy going into place, and this is just a cool image in general. Step 16, 17, 18. Obviously at step 18, we'll turn it upside down to put these in. Turn it over, what we got. Step 20, getting the old girl on her legs, as I like to say. Step 21, we're just putting all the last bits in. And then on the final bit, we have the schemes. And I always like to build the one on the front of the box, but you pick what you fancy. And the strong reason you purchased this kit was for the decals. And you can see they're pretty spotless. There's no grime. I'm using the light to see if I can see anything. No, they're good. There's no instrument panel stuff like that. It's all exterior. The only thing I could think would be a pain, which I find a pain when putting decals on, is stuff like this. It's really thin, long decals on D and C and B and stuff like that. You might get a bit, the problem area for silver, and you might get from J, K and E and F. You will have no issue with the 1. Maybe on the 10 if it's too long at the back of the tail of the aircraft. But you can see they're just decals and they look good from what I can see from just looking at them. And that is the kit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.